She says, because there's a man's shoes in the entryway. And I said, there's only one person I know that could leave a house without his shoes. Yeah. I called him. I said, are you wearing your shoes? Oh. I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
That's great.
Makes well over $1 million a year, right? But here's where his gift is. Every time we did a presentation, he had somebody with him that he just met somewhere. And I'm thinking, how can this guy talk to somebody and get them to follow him to another house for a presentation? I'm like going, how does this guy do this? It's a gift. I can't do it. I can't do it. But he was great at doing that, right? And made $1 million a year, even though he didn't understand anything else. But he was great at getting people in front of the presentation. If you can get people in front of the presentation, you can make a fortune here. Right? So it's not about, that a lot of people get, well, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I can do this. It's not about that. You get people in front of the deal. Right? That's it. So, what I found is that this is not right.
Is everyone half breaks his head?
I'm going to give half the presentation.
Click it one more time, Carl.
What's that?
Click it one more time.
One more time. Okay. My mentor once told me, he said, when all else fails, think. Right? That's really the key, right? How many times have we run into a problem, we go, I don't know what to do. Hey, if you stop and think about it for a few minutes, you'll probably figure it out. Right?
Yep.
This is not rocket science. This is not hard. Right? If you're asking yourself, or you're stumped, or you find yourself in a rut, just take a couple of hours and think about it. And you'll be amazed at what happens. I can tell you personally, when I was in construction, and I was building very high-end homes, $30 to $80 million homes.
Jeez.
And, the architects draw this stuff, but when you're actually trying to put it together, you know that they didn't think about this particular thing, right? Because it doesn't fit, right? It just doesn't come together. And so that's not uncommon. So what do? We get the guys who are got to figure this stuff out. We look at them and say, well, have you ever seen anything like this before? No, I've never seen anything. Well, what would you do? I don't know. Maybe this and maybe that. And we come up with some ideas. And then what we do? We just walk away from it. And when you walk away from it, your brain still works. And I'm telling you, middle of the night, it'll come to you. Right? It'll come to you because your brain's still working on it, even though you're consciously not thinking about it. And I can't tell you how many times we solve the problem in the middle of the night. It'll come to you, you write it down, and boom, you're ready to go. Right? And if it doesn't come from you, somebody else that you have in your group, we'll figure it out. So have a team that you're working with. Have somebody that's a cohort with you. Nothing like, let's go do. I was in another company, and there was 5 of us that got there, and it was kind of like this company, in that it was just getting started. They only had about 80 or 90 sales a month. And there was 5 of us that got together and said, let's take this thing and run with it. And what we did was we all committed to each other that no matter where a meeting is being conducted, we're all going to be there. And we're all going to bring somebody. And we're going to leave your ego at the door. We're going to try the presentation and find out what works and find out what doesn't. Right? And we refined our presentation. And we made 80 millionaires. 80 millionaires. I had 1,500 people that made $100,000 or more a year. Right? And that was just a group that got together, and not all of us were in each other's organizations. Right? It was all about working together to accomplish something we could do on our own. So, here's good news. Nobody is so good that they only sponsor good people. Right? I don't know anybody that bats 1,000. Right? But nobody is so bad that you only sponsor bad people. Right? When I say bad people, people that do something. Right? Because if I talk to Paul, and Paul has the best of intentions, right? And he says, okay, I'm gonna go into business, right? And something happens. Life. And he can't do it anymore, right? And I'm all upset, and discouraged, and frustrated. The single biggest thing you can do to help yourself is manage your expectations. If I spot, now, Paul and I have done business before. Paul's made a lot of money in this industry. We've done very well together. Now, if I call Paul, I'm thinking, man, if I can get Paul, if I can just get him. Right? And Paul, I talk to him, and Paul says, no. And I'm like, oh, there goes my whole future. Or I say, I get Paul, and I'm so excited, he's going to do it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to start shopping for Ferraris, life's going to be great. And then 2 days later, Paul calls me and he says, hey, somebody in the family died, I'm not going to be able to do this for probably 6 or 7 months. And I'm like, oh. So, I'm looking at Hyundais now. Right? So, here's the way I look at it. I bring Paul in, Paul says, I'm going to go kick this thing in the rear, right? If you haven't seen the best salesman in the company, you just met him, right? Tells me all what he's going to do. I'm going, fantastic. Great. I'm loving it. Just love it. Great. Hope you do it, right? Somebody says, hey, I don't know if I can do very well at this, and they take off. Well, fantastic. Fantastic. But just keep loving. Keep loving. You'll find that people that are very successful in this have to manage their expectations.